Welcome back to Robot Wars, and I hope you are all geared up for the heat to come after what we experienced last week with Sub-Zero's close call. Tonight's heat should hopefully be just as full-on as last heat, so let's check out the Battleboard and see who's on the chopping block this week. Once again, we had two seated machines separated from each other with 19 seats, complete control. The only middleweight machine here, actually, who did very well in the New Blood Championships up against the two newcomers, Safety Hazard and Sandstorm. We also have the returning Blip taking on two other newcomers in the forms of Clemitten and the Razor-esque looking Venom. But first up, it's Shockwave, seed number 3 from Earthquake in the Last Wars, up against the huge spinner of Wheel of Misfortune and the lethal bar of Dodge Me. Let the carnage begin! Shockwave! Lifter! Team Shock's third entry into Robot Wars after a fantastic run last Wars, coming third in the competition. Now their new machine is designed to be on par with Tornado at pushing power. The front wedge plow can not only topple over their opponents, but it is strong enough to deflect spinning attacks. They can also drive both ways up, and they think that this time they have a true winner. Earthquake did well, but not well enough. Maybe this machine is a winner. Hope they can compensate for the ground clearance and the big exposed wheels. Wheel of Misfortune. Spinner. Not many machines on Robot Wars whose name is a pun on something, and absolutely zero of them being a pun of a completely different TV show. And holy cow, that is a gigantic flywheel. That weapon is definitely going to be a lethal force going into the championship, although the exposed wheels could potentially be an issue for them. Dodge Me! Spinner! They really surprised us in the Last Wars by blasting both Punjar and Pussycat out of the arena before crashing onto the Deadlock Glory by pinging off the top of Buzzy Bee. The blade is very dangerous, and the machine as a whole is a major improvement from Big Spinner in the first Wars. But the weapon does have an issue of causing them to ping off, and the exposed wheels are still an issue.
Robot ears, stand by.
Shockwave, Team Shock's third machine, the third siege with the front ramming and lifting plow. Wheel of Misfortune with the huge flywheel. I think that's bigger than 259's blade, actually. So they can take that mantle off him. And Dodge Me with the spinning bar, and did a much better job in the Last Wars than their previous entry, Big Spinner.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
So how well will they do in this series? Well, immediately on the attack on Shockwave and throwing them up. And Shockwave's already lost 2 tires! The top left and the bottom right. And Shockwave, the third seed, already in trouble from Dodge Me. Is Wheel of Misfortune okay? They're fine. Dodge Me flung up and over from their own weapon. They have popped that in the Last Wars, and they can't right themselves. Dodge Me immobilized. They're being counted out. And what's happened to Shockwave? Has Shockwave broken down? I think they have. And they're being counted out! Wheel of Misfortune spouting and spinning about on the spot! They did nothing this entire fight! They did absolutely nothing, and yet they are the victors! Wheel of Misfortune going through to the Gold Rumble. How about that? Talk about something I didn't expect. Wheel of Misfortune into the Gold Rumble. Shockwave in the silver. That's a surprise. Next up, Blip, Clemitten, and Venom. Blip. Flipper. The cute little robot has returned with a slight rebuild. The weapon is still the same as it was last time, which is going to be its issue, but instead of the 2 front forks, they've replaced it with a wedge that makes sliding underneath more easier. Well, that proved to be more effective. Clemitten. Lifter. Extremely quick and a very good lifting weapon that can help them right themselves if thrown over. The wedge is also fairly effective, but the exposed wheels could prove prove to be a problem for them. Venom Crusher! Yeah, we could very easily tell who inspired this design. You didn't need to inform us, it was blatantly obvious. Of course, this machine only has 2 wheels, as well as a very low, strong wedge with a strong crushing beak. The drive is also quite fast, almost as fast as Razor, but unlike Razor, there's no Shremek.
Robot ears, stand by.
Blip, back again, new design, and the sillily placed flipper. Sillily, is that even a word? I don't know. Clemitten with the lifting forks and the allegedly strong drive. And Venom the Razor knockoff with their crushing beak. Yes, I'm calling it a knockoff because essentially that's what it is, just minus the self-righting wings. Clemitten, very quick actually, Clemitten, has to be said. Venom spinning around on the spot. Blip pushing against Venom. I guess Venom saw how well Wheel of Misfortune did in their fight, trying to mimic that. Unfortunately, you've got Blip coming at you, so not as effective as you thought it would be. What can Blip do? Well, Clemitten now getting into the fight. Not sure who to go for, Clemitten, I don't think. Blip seems content on knocking out Venom, mainly because, as I mentioned before, Venom has no self-righting mechanism, so if Blip can find a way to get underneath like that and throw Venom up and over and throw them up like that, then Venom will be gone and there will be no coming back for them unless Blip does something stupid like that. Clemitten spinning around the spot, not really sure. I think Clemitten just feels out of place. Blip, another flip on Venom. Now, mistimed flip. I don't know what that flip was for. Now Clemitten on the attack on Blip. I think Blip's trying to get Clemitten back at the fight. Like, hey, you are still in here, right? Okay, yes you are. And now Blip showing it. And Blip now on the front, pinned against the wall by Clemitten. And it should be noted, or at least reminded, that if you forcefully pin a machine against the wall and refuse to let them go, like what Clemitten's doing, then Clemitten will be disqualified. However, this is the preliminaries, meaning if they continue doing this, Clemitten will end up in the Bronze Rumble. We are a bit lenient in that regard for the preliminaries, but that's as lenient as we will be. Clemitten, the drive is strong. Let's go of Blip, now pressurizing Venom. Clemitten once again on the attack on Blip. Blip in real trouble, and Clemitten will not let them go. Blip stuck against the wall again and being pinned there forcefully. Clemitten, you have to let them go if you want to continue. But they're not. They're forcefully pinning Blip against the wall. You cannot do that, Blip. That is against the rules. If you continue doing that, you will end up in the Bronze Rumble. Blip, in my opinion, if this was to go to the judges, Blip would go to the Gold Rumble. They've been far more aggressive. Clemitten's second strongest Venom, they've done nothing. But Caesar's call, the judges, they've had enough. They've done. Clemitten, they're into the Bronze Rumble. Venom just into the silver. Blip, they go through to the Gold Rumble. Clemitten, what have you done? That skullduggery performance from Clemitten has screwed them over. They're in the Bronze Rumble. Venom in the silver. Next up, Complete Control, Safety Hazard, and Sandstorm. Complete Control. Control Bot. They shocked the Warzone in the last horse by pulling off 2 feats no one expected. In their heat, they tossed huge over and out of the arena, and in the New Blood Championships, they lifted and threw out the super heavyweight machine, Backwhacker. An absolutely fantastic performance from the middleweight machine, and a lot of eyes will be on the 19th seed to see how well they do this series. Safety Hazard. Spinner. A rather unique design for a spinner, the rear consists of a wedge ramp to cause machines to drive over it to allow the deadly spinning drum on the front to rip and tear into the underbelly, and while it has a major ground clearance issue, it can drive both ways up. However, it's able to do so because of the big wheels, which are heavily exposed. Sandstorm! Lifter! A small body that can slam into anyone and give them real trouble. The front wedge can easily take spinning attacks, and the lifter does have a level of effectiveness to it, mainly for self-rating. The pushing power of the machine is actually said to be strong enough to rival Tornado, but the exposed wheels do pose a bit of a problem.
Robot ears, stand by.
Complete control with the lifting clamp weapon, very effective as well, 19 seeds. Safety hazard with the spinning drum and the rear wedge and the invertible design. And Sandstorm with the front plow blade and the lifting weapon on top. And they actually made the semi-finals in the Ultimate Show-Off Special last year.
2, 1, activate.
If you were lucky to have seen it on the main channel, in comes Complete Control, the push at the back of Safety Hazard, who's currently doing a number on Sandstorm, or is Sandstorm doing a number on Safety Hazard? I don't know. They flipped them over, flipped again. Complete Control's released the pit. And now, oh, Sandstorm in the pit! And that Sandstorm got it, Safety Hazard's got, oh, hey! Safety Hazard back out. Oh, no, they've gone back in. Well, that's the end of that. That was extremely fast. Storm throws them back out, and Safety Hazard back. Sandstorm, get out! Having more of a fight. Look at this. As the pit's going down, Sandstorm, they realize, whoops, I'm out. They can't do anything, thrown over, and then Safety Hazard follows in, and Sandstorm's like, nope, out you go. That was actually really cool. It's not often you see a machine help another get out of the pit while they're actually already in it. That was cool. Is Safety Hazard okay? No, they've gone back into the pit. It says like, well, you knock it off and get out. I don't even think Complete Control knows how to deal with this. Oh, great. Oh! But now, Safety Hazard are properly in the pit. What's Complete Control? It's everyone in the pit now. Well, Safety Hazard, they're truly in the pit now. They can't get out from there. One wheel on the side, and yep. I think that's truly, well, now they're definitely not getting out. They're underneath Sandstorm. Complete. What was this fight? I couldn't even deliver proper commentary. What on earth was this? Whatever it was, Complete Control won it. Whatever it was, hopefully the next couple fights aren't as chaotic. Anyway, this is how this fight's ended, with Complete Control into the gold, Safety Hazard into the silver, Sandstorm into the bronze. So here's how our three rumbles look. This is the gold rumble. Wheel of Misfortune, who did nothing in their earlier fight, against Blip, who were more dominant, and Complete Control, our middleweight 19th seeds. The silver rumble follows with the third seed, Shockwave, surprise, they're there, against Razor-esque Venom and Safety Hazard. But first up, the bronze rumble with Dodge Meat, Glimpton there due to skullduggery in their last fight. And our fallen King of Bots competitor, Sandstorm.
Robot ears, stand by.
Dodge Me with a spinning blade, kind of a shame they're here in the bronze rumble. Glimpton with the lifting forks and strong drive, rather deservedly after the skullduggery they performed in their preliminary battle. And Sandstorm with the front plow and lifting device, kind of a shame they're here too after a rather decent display of power.
2,
I'm actually wondering how this bronze rumble is going to go. Well, Dodge Me getting that blade up to speed and already colliding, and now Sandstorm on the attack, Glimpton, and Sandstorm right up and over, righting themselves, and now up goes Glimpton, they right themselves. Dodge Me getting a Sandstorm a little bit of air, and Glimpton now pushing away at Sandstorm. And I'm wondering, as Glimpton doing the same thing they did before, and what was that? I think something's come off Sandstorm. And Clementon, they're doing the same thing they did before. They have not learned a thing. And this time around, they can be fully disqualified. And now something's come off. Something's gone. I think that was a wheel part. Was that a whole wheel? I'm not fully sure. I think it was. Dodge me coming in again. Sandstorms, their own weapons, catching them on the wall, on the angle, trying to. The one thing you can say about Clementon, their drive is strong. They have a very strong drive, and Dodge me sending Sandstorm flying through the air. That's brilliant. Look at this again. In comes Dodge me, and whee! That's kind of cool, actually. I take that. Clementon almost up and over, and now major damage on the Sandstorm from Dodge me's blade. But once again, Clementon pinning them against the wall, and that is against the. You cannot do. Now a wheel's gone. A wheel's fully gone, and another wheel's just fallen off. So Sandstorm's drive is now compromised. They're two-wheel drive now. Clementon pinning Dodge me against the wall. I mean, you can sort of see the logic. Dodge me is a threat, a major threat, but again, you cannot do that. Once again, pushing away at Sandstorm. Dodge me coming in, and you know what? Sandstorm has potential. We saw their potential in the Ultimate Show-Off special last year on the main channel. Unfortunately, Clementon is screwing with it. They are screwing with it, and we are not seeing the full potential Sandstorm has to offer, and that is genuinely a shame. Clementon, you need to let them go, or you will be disqualified. I think you're going to get disqualified either way. Sandstorm, they can't get away. They're trying desperately. And what's happened here to the blade of Dodge Me? The blade, it's no longer spinning. Has the drive chain come off, I think? I'm wondering if that's the case. There's no movement from the blade. They're still trying to get Clementon to let Sandstorm go, because, let's be real, Clementon, that's not cricket! You cannot pin, you will get disqualified! And, you know what, I'm actually surprised the judges haven't called this yet. I'm actually really surprised here. I guess, you know, I'm not gonna try and figure out why the judges aren't calling it. They're just not. Sandstorm cannot get away. This is very, very unfair for Sandstorm. I would like to see a proper fight between Sandstorm and Dodge Me. Maybe we'll get that in the specials later down the line after the grand finals. Fingers crossed. But for right now, Dodge Me still trying to get Clementon to let them go. Sandstorm cannot move. And now, Sandstorm, well, now Dodge Me has better clearance on Clementon and pushes them away. And all of a sudden, well, Sandstorm now on the attack on Clementon. But look at this, there's no movement from Clementon. Has Clementon broken down, I wonder? And that's making me wonder if that was them pinning them, or if it was that drive conking out. We've got 5 seconds left. This is going to go to the judges. I'm wondering how this will call. There's cease. So, time fully expired. And I'm being told from the judges that Clementon, for the majority of the fight before the drive went, they have been deemed disqualified. So it will be between Dodge Me and Sandstorm. So let's see how it went. Sandstorm thrown over but rights themselves. Dodge Me gets Clementon up and over. And there, off come one of the wheels of Sandstorm from Dodge Me. That's good damage there. And again, Dodge Me comes in, sends them flying through the air. And that actually helped Sandstorm. Dodge Me going up and over, but rights themselves. Good control there. Sandstorm able to get back in and push away at Clementon. Nearly had them over. This gave Sandstorm, I should say, a good chance for a comeback. But then major damage there. And then Clementon once again back to their old tactics before one of the wheels fully came off, and then the wheel just fell off. The other wheel came off, I think of its own accord, or maybe past damage. But then, for the majority of the fight, Sandstorm really couldn't do much because of Clementon pitting them against the wall. And that's actually where the blade stopped for Dodge Me. With, I think the drive chain just came off from that one impact, and that's what killed the blade. And then this is where we found out that Clementon's drive was gone. Dodge Me pushed them away, and then Sandstorm comes in to enact revenge. Good aggression there, but also good aggression from Dodge Me. Honestly, I would love to see these two go up against each other, but based on the 4 criteria, I think the victor is pretty obvious. And the judges appear to agree with me. Dodge Me more damaging, more aggressive than Sandstorm. Dodge Me wins the judges' decision. Commiserations to Sandstorm, and truth be told, commiserations to Clementon. Hopefully if they do come back, they don't cause the same problem this time around. Anyway, that's the end of the Bronze Rumble. Dodge Me, they go through to the Death or Glory for another chance. Next up, the Silver Rumble. Can 3rd seed Shockwave get their redemption against the 2 newcomers, Venom, and the interesting design of Safety Hazard.
Roboteers, stand by.
The Silver Rumble with 3rd seed Shockwave, a surprise with their lifting plow, Venom, only here because of Clementon's skullduggery with their crushing beak, and Safety Hazard with the spinning drum and the rear wedge.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Should be a better fight compared to what we had in the Bronze Rumble, and there, thrown over immediately goes Venom by Shockwave, and Shockwave now being taught a lesson by Safety Hazard as they've ripped 2 wheels off from the side, and Shockwave in trouble and on fire! And I think something's happened. Nope, I thought something had happened to the weapon. It's not. Shockwave, the 3rd seeds, being torn apart here by Safety Hazard. And as Safety Hazard eliminated Shockwave, I think they may have... Shockwave... Well, I think that's safe to say Shockwave are out. They can't drive, there's only one... I'd say there's 1 wheel left, but that's, questionable. They're on fire. Safety Hazard, I think, effortlessly won that. Their weapon is very, very effective. Ball Shockwave. Venom didn't stand a chance. They were out in like 3 seconds. And you're trying to ramp up Shockwave. For what? What do you think's gonna happen? Shockwave being counted out. They're completely immobilized. And actually, I'm wondering if the drum of Safety Hazard is okay. Safety Hazard through to the Death or Glory, no doubt about it. But is the drum all right? Has the drum stopped, or have they just turned it off, I wonder? I don't know why Shockwave keeps firing their weapon. There's no point. Shockwave, you are out. You are finished. you are out of the competition, and that is such a shame after their performance in the last Wars with Earthquake. They were the 3rd seed of the competition, and now the 3rd seed going home very, very early, and that is such a shame, as it's safety hazard going through to the Death or Glory. Goodbye, Shockwave. Hopefully next time around you can do a bit better. Sorry, guys. And that's even if there is a next time for Shockwave. Truth be told, I don't think there is. I think this is about all we're going to see of Shockwave. I mean, Manta did a better job than Shockwave back in Series 1. That machine at least made the Death or Glory, but Shockwave crashes out here. Safety hazard. They go on through to the Death or Glory to join up with Dodge Me, Venom, maybe invest in a self-riding mechanism. And now for the Gold Rumble with Wheel of Misfortune and its gigantic blade, the Flipper of Blip, and the middleweight machine and the surprising 19th Siege Complete Control.
Roboteers, stand by.
The Gold Rumble with Complete Control, 19th Siege, the lifting clamping weapon, Wheel of Misfortune with a ginormous flywheel that did nothing in its fight, and Blip with the flipper and quick drive.
2, 1.
Which unfortunately had to deal with Clementon, so a shame for them really, but glad to see they're in the Gold Rumble, so they've got that at least. And, Wheel of Misfortune flopping about. Complete Control trying to throw them over like they did Hydra in the last Wars. And Backwhacker, if I remember, in the New Blood special, where they even threw them out the arena. Complete Control releasing the pit like they did in their last fight. And now slamming into Wheel of Misfortune. I don't think with much success though, until there, and down the pit, and that's the end of Wheel of Misfortune into the Pit of Oblivion, and now Complete Control to deal with Blip. And I don't think we'll have too much problems unless they do that. And now Blip wrapping Complete Control up and are doing the same thing Clementon did, which they cannot do. Okay. Lets them go. That is good. They have at least several. Oh, what on earth was that? What caused that to happen? They're thrown up and over Complete Control. So now they are in trouble. Hey! Rights themselves. That's great to see, Complete Control. Well done. What happened here? It's like they go and then whoop. What on earth was that? I'll be perfectly honest. This game has quite a fair few glitches. Like that. Yes, I'll break the fourth wall. It's my show. Right, back into the action with Clementon for some reason. Not Clementon, Blip for some reason driving into the angle grinder. Complete Control trying to find a good way to throw Blip up and over. But Blip has a strong drive, and it shouldn't be difficult for Blip because Complete Control, don't forget, is only a middleweight. And now Blip thrown up and over, and they should really be able to right themselves, but their flip is stuck open. Complete Control corrects that, throws them back up and over. So, Complete Control doing to Blip what Blip did to Venom in the second round of the preliminaries. Is Blip A-okay? They've not had the greatest of control in this fight, and once again, up and over, and Blip are in trouble. What can Complete Control? Well, Complete Control has one option. Oh, well, they did, and then Blip self-righted. Complete Control once again trying to find a good way to get Blip out, but Blip is fast, extremely fast, probably faster than Chaos too. And once again, Complete Control to get underneath and try and topple over Blip. No effect. Mind the flame jet. Well, I'd say mind the flame jet. It's not really going to affect you. Complete control. Well, the giant flywheel of Wheel of Misfortune helping them. If that wheel wasn't there, they would have ended up in the pit. Complete control. They are struggling here, and truth be told, Blip, with the weapon design of Complete Control, Blip is not the easiest machine to knock out. Nearly had them hooked and lifted, but not enough, and now suplex, and that's the end of Blip. Now I think the suplex. That's how Complete Control defeated Solar Flare in Battle of the YouTubers on the main channel. And now Blip up and over and rights himself. Oh, nope, there you go. There you go. Where did the 4 flipper go? Well, what's Blip done? Why have you driven into the pit, guys? Well, that's stupid, because now... Yeah. Down to the pit, and... Cease is called. What was Blip doing? That could have gone to the judges if Blip hadn't have done what they did, but they did. Blip crash out of the Death or Glory, Complete Control. They go through to the Heat Final. And this time they reach the Heat Final without going through the Death or Glory. It definitely goes to show how much Complete Control has improved as they progress through to the Heat Final straight up, while Wheel of Misfortune and Blip, they crash out into the Death or Glory. And here's how it looks with Dodge Me from the Bronze Rumble, Safety Hazard from the Silver, combined with our 2 Fallen Gold Rumble fighters, Wheel of Misfortune and Blip. Which one of these machines would do better at taking on Complete Control for the spot in the semi-finals?
Roboteers, stand by.
Here we are, the Death or Glory. Dodge Me from the Bronze Rumble with the spinning bar. Safety Hazard from the Silver Rumble with the spinning drum. And from the Gold Rumble, Blip with the CO2 flipper, and Wheel of Misfortune with the ginormous flywheel. This should be interesting. That is, if Wheel of Misfortune can properly move. Can they? Well, let's... I think... As much as I like the design of Wheel of Misfortune, the blade is causing major problems. Anyway, back to the fight. Dodge Me. Now, on the attack on Wheel of Misfortune, doing a little bit of damage. Blip. What can... Well, Blip's just stuck in the corner, really. And now, thrown up and over by Dodge Me. Is Safety Hazard okay? They're just chilling at the top of the corner. Blip, they're gone! Out the arena! Blip's gone! Thrown out the arena by Dodge Me. And now, there were 3. Dodge Me definitely seeming as effective as they did in the last wars. And throwing over Safety Hazard. Safety Hazard, well, what can Safety Hazard really do? Now the drum spinning in the complete opposite direction. Maybe it could help them deal with the polycarbonate on top of Dodge Me, because don't forget, that does show off the exposed electronics. But once again, Dodge Me's weapon, lethal, and throws over Wheel of Misfortune there. Safety Hazard driving across the pit. Well, skirts the pit anyway. Oh, and now Dodge Me to send Wheel of Misfortune down the pit of oblivion, and that's them gone. They crash out, and now Dodge Me's only competitor left is Safety Hazard. Dodge Me not letting up. They are not having a repeat of the last wars. They want to do better. They're flung away. And now, Safety Hazard, you are aware you've thrown yourself into the pit there, right? Your wheels, well, in comes Dodge Me to make sure you are aware of your circumstance and helps put you in proper. You're not coming out of that. Well, Dodge Me definitely stronger this time around. They're going through to the Heat final to join up with the 19th seed Complete Control. Well, that was a bit hectic, wasn't it? I was hoping we didn't get another hectic battle, but there you go. There's the results with Wheel of Misfortune and Safety Hazard falling down the pit while Blip gets thrown clean out of the arena. Dodge Me goes through to the Heat final to face off against Complete Control. And this should be a rather interesting battle, I think. Which one of these two machines will join Sub-Zero in the semi-finals?
Roboteers, stand by.
The Heat final with 19th seeds, Complete Control, the middleweight machine with their lifting clamping weapon, and Dodge Me, the heavyweight with the spinning bar, and have done brilliantly getting here. A better performance from last year, it has to be said, but still as effective.
2, 1. Activate.
And I'm wondering, actually, if this could prove to be a problem for Complete Control. And yeah, because Complete Control is running away. Complete Control underneath, and now! Oh, nearly out the arena, and again! And that's a problem. No! Well, that was very entertaining. Look at this. That attack nearly sent them out. A follow-up from Dodge Me nearly had them gone, but not quite. Another attack rights them, but then Dodge Me drives into the pit. Well, that was over extremely fast. I don't know why Dodge Me thought they could get over the pit with their design, but this is where they crash out. Complete Control through to the series semifinals. They almost had it, but sadly threw it away at the last minute, something that we've seen numerous times on the show. Well done to Complete Control, however, for progressing through to the series semifinals, and we look forward to seeing how much further you progress. But until then, take care, and I'll see you next time. Farewell.